Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Desperate Measures.
Hello.
It is February the 9th, 1512. You are in Tassel, or your little outpost, Garrett's Grotto in Tassel. And it's time to head out on the open road again, head to Cauldron, swing up towards Stromheim.
I believe you mean jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi, I'm sorry. I'm so bad with remembering names.
Yep.
It's all right. It's the next character name, don't worry.
Jacuzzi.
What's the day out like today?
It's a hot. Well, it's middle of winter, so it's not hot, but it is a clear, dry day. It's hot for winter. It's maybe, low 80s in the temperature. It's nice that everyone's on the same scale of measurements now.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's on Fahrenheit together. Everyone's on Imperial. I don't have to try and convert between Imperial and metric all the time. It's beautiful.
Well, I mean, we can just go over to the metric system if you'd like, Neal. We can just start converting for you.
Yeah, because we all know how comfortable 24 degrees Celsius feels.
Yeah, for sure. That's,
Totally. That's my jam.
I think.
I think
The
it's
only
cold.
The reason I kind of know is because of RimWorld, but that's about it. Yeah.
I think that's like roughly
75.
75? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Depending on who you are.
I guess.
If you're an Eskimo, that's pretty warm, man. I'm sorry.
These people. Chat is just full of insanity.
Mhm.
All right. Anyway, off you go from Tassel to Jacuzzi to Stromheim to Victory, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Encounter check for day 1 of travel. I should also open up my encounter table in case I need it.
You won't.
Oh, well then I'll just stop. Where are we?
What is that? Who's that?
Those are crows.
Okay. Doesn't sound like crows.
Maybe there's some other sort of bird then.
Very well.
All
It's
right.
not a griffin.
No, you have no problems on your first day of travel. You do pass another small herd of elephants with a big bull walking alongside of them.
Again.
Good.
I take it you still don't want to go fight the elephant?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Desire, the body
Hell
is willing.
no.
The mind is an arrow. The mind is willing, but the body isn't able. How does it go?
Flesh is willing, but the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
like
Something
that.
like that?
Yeah.
It's close enough. It's only mildly
Yeah.
creepy. And the second day gets you to Jacuzzi, no problem. Are you moving on right away, or are you gonna chill in Jacuzzi for a while?
We'd probably stay the night.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we said it.
sure. You rest in Jacuzzi.
Tuesday's got it.
All right. It's going to be another 2-day trip up to Stromheim. Your first day.
Oh, I guess it's...
And remember, we need to be careful and be on the lookout for that headless horse.
True. Very true. Keep your eyes about you.
True.
You find nothing that next day on your way up.
It's good.
Well, at least for most of the day. On towards the end, once you start passing the point where there are beginning to be some trees, because this first section of road, aside from the forests to the east, there ain't a tree for miles. But eventually you hit a point where there start to be a couple of trees, like a tree every 200 feet or something. And it's in this area that you come across a small blockade along the road. It's nothing impressive, just a single, maybe like 10-foot wide section of logs going back and forth in opposite directions with spikes on them. And just beyond that, maybe another 10 feet beyond that, is a spike in the ground with a skull sitting on the top of it and a crossbeam just below the skull with a flag dangling down, like one of those tall rectangular flags, more like a banner than a flag, really.
Do I know what the flag is?
I don't think anyone has any. I don't think you know any of the lords or ladies of this part of the world. It's definitely not the sigil of any house you recognize from your part of the world. Does anyone have like a heraldry proficiency
Neal,
or
we're
something?
peasants.
That's what I thought.
I have religion.
Yeah, religion's not going to help you here.
Is there any writing? I have literacy. I mean,
No, there's no writing.
What kind of skull is it on top? Just out of curiosity. Human?
I'm telling you when you're pretty far away. If you want to get close enough to identify the type of skull, you'll have to like walk up and examine it.
maybe
Alright.
we should dip off the road a little bit. You think?
Maybe. That doesn't seem like a very effective blockade if you can just go around.
Yeah, it looks more like a warning sign than a proper blockade to you guys. You know, someone puts something in the road with a something behind it with a skull on it. It's very clearly like a old-timey way of saying stay off my lawn.
Can we see any people around here from
Give me a
where we're at, or
perception
we
check.
just see the? Okay.
Yeah, look about. No,
Ouch.
no, we're missing
Ouch.
one.
Oh, I mean, hold on. Sorry.
Roll a good one.
Oh, is that what we're waiting on in my perception?
Yeah, there's no one around.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
You're gonna walk past it, walk around it, turn back, tunnel underneath it, try and throw yourselves over it.
Well, we gotta go forward. The question is, how do we go forward?
I mean, we could just easily go around it, but
Let's go west right now, before the DM keeps rolling dice.
okay.
He might just be fake rolling, though. You don't know. You can't think about that. Otherwise, you'll
Can't think
become a
about that.
paranoid individual.
All right, I
but
think we
you
go
can't
west.
think like that.
We've been that way before, so let's head towards Limestone, and then we'll cut over.
All right.
Is that fine?
Sounds good to me. Just on our way to Limestone.
All right.
That was good.
You
plan.
guys head out into the grasslands, and
Can I like mentally remember? Can you like draw me like what the symbol was, or can I just mentally remember what it was?
I will ask you to. Let's see. In the event that you run across other sigils or symbols, I'll have some sort of, in check to see if you can remember something. Now that you're taking special note of this, I'll probably just tell you the next time you see it.
Okay,
'Cause
my
it's-
goal was
it's a
like,
symbol.
If
It's
we
a-
get to Stromheim to like ask about it, maybe, and like
Sure.
so I just,
Okay. So you head off the north road. You head into the plains. You try and steer clear of all of this nonsense, but you don't get too far before the sun goes down because it was on towards late afternoon anyway when you went off the road.
We can
And
camp.
we'll camp here. Just make a note that was the day you got to the blockade. And the next day, as you continue to cruise about. You're moving through the plains. The tall grasses are everywhere. They come up to, I don't know, mid-thigh in most places, sometimes maybe navel height for you humans. For you dwarf, usually comes up to your shoulders, sometimes above head. Yeah. And let me take a look at some stuff over here. What's it like traveling in these hot, well, not hot, but, warm winter days when the sun is out?
I think it's probably pretty nice. A warm winter day is a pretty nice day usually.
Yeah.
It's probably a little chilly.
Yeah.
But if you're hiking and doing stuff, you usually don't notice.
Probably feels good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Lon's having a pretty good time.
Probably pretty nice just hiking through the hot winter days. If it was really, really cold winter time, I think it'd be miserable. For
Well, I mean,
snowing or something,
especially compared to spending 6 days in a row in a rotten home of a I forget what that thing is called already. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lacrota.
Yeah, like
Lakota.
Crota. There you go. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy, at least my character.
Yeah. What is going on between Ebner and Vaughn? Because Ebner, you were gone for a while, and then when you showed up, this new dude was here, and everyone was kind of cool with him, and you've sort of just rolled with him, but you don't really know much about him. What's the feeling between the two of you?
I mean, Ebner has seen his like might in battle, and he knows he's Callum's brother, so he's kind of just like excited to have someone stronger around. It's gonna help him get his godly and priestly duties done.
Stronger than Callum.
Definitely. Yeah. So I mean, he's like stoked to have a literal demigod in his party.
And then as far as me to Ebner, I suppose, I mean, he's seen Ebner's healing prowess like multiple times. So, yeah, I mean, he's very happy. And of course, like Ebner's one connection that he has to his half brother who died, you know, he didn't really get to see his half brother again before learning that he's dead. So, so yeah, I would say he's perfectly fine to have a really competent dwarf traveling alongside him. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that day, as you're hiking through the tall grasses, Vaughn spots off in the distance, coming down out of one of those nearby hills, is a small pride of lions. I haven't rolled for how many yet. I'm checking that out right now.
Oh.
But, you know, big cats.
Yeah.
See some big cats in the distance. Maybe a mile off, coming down out of the hills.
We could
Mile
avoid
off,
them.
okay. Well, first of all, first thing I do is I got my sledgehammer and I go, gentlemen, there's some lions coming towards us.
Oh. Well, are we gonna avoid these lions?
I think
Run
we
back to
should.
the road.
If worse comes to worse, I might be able to convince them that we aren't worth their time.
Oh, well, that seems like a good idea. I'll follow your lead.
I'll start
Good.
steering the party east.
Okay.
Yes, it's best to just avoid lines for now, especially if there's more than one.
Yeah, you count
If there's-
6.
Oh yeah, with that many, I don't.
avoid the lions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
there's
best
a
avoid.
lot of lions, gentlemen. We should
Maybe
avoid
if
them,
there was only one, I'd say let's take it down and skin it. And I think that alone, lion's pelt might be worth almost a month of taxes, but
Yeah, I know. At
6
least
of them. No, with the way we face that Crota, I think we'd be done for with more than. I think one alone would be a very tough challenge.
I don't know about one alone. If we all got a surprise on it, I think we could take it down
Sure,
relatively.
if we surprised it.
I think we
I mean,
could
if you
probably do
surprise
three. Surprise.
almost anything, it's pretty easy to take them down. But
Except a dragon.
Well, if you ever surprise
I
a
don't,
dragon, let
I
me
don't
know.
rightly know if you can surprise a dragon. I don't intend on finding out. I feel like that would be bad.
So you steer east. Lions are coming from the north-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are just going to go... burp, burp.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're just gonna hard right.
Okay, let me check my DM screen. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-na-na-na. Okay, cool. Yeah, the lions either don't notice you or more likely choose not to follow after you. They are hunters and you are in their native territory. So if you spot them, they've probably seen you too. But they leave you be and you leave them be. And you make your way back to the road and start approaching Stromheim. And along the road, you see a solitary person maybe, or maybe it's a scarecrow. There is a like a hooded figure sort of just standing in the middle of the road, and its features are blocked by these like long flowing clothes that it wears, and it's not moving, and the clothes are kind of flapping in the wind, and the figure isn't moving. And
Does he have a weapon?
No. Any like hands would be covered by the long like sleeves of the robes, and the hood comes down too far for it to really be seeing anything either.
I don't.
He said. Sorry.
I don't think we should get close to that thing.
You want to venture out east?
But I don't. I also kind of want to know what it is.
Well, maybe we can see more from the other
Real
side.
conundrum. It's a real
Let's
conundrum.
just venture a little bit off the road, you know? Keep about a mile between us, maybe.
I think that's a good idea.
All right,
But-
so you guys pull off the road then?
Mm-hmm.
But what if these are warnings for us that Mr. Fizzip was right and we are most unwelcome in Stromheim?
We're welcome. I speak Adonian.
All right, Mr. Ebner.
If you insist, Mr. Ebner.
I trust you on this.
That's
All right.
definitely leaving it up to you.
You keep approaching Stromheim, and on towards evening, you notice smoke rising from the direction of Stromheim, but not like one big plume of smoke like a city on fire or a volcano or something like that, but maybe a couple, like a dozen or 2 or 3 dozen
reminiscent
small smoke fires.
Kind of reminiscent of what we see just to a smaller scale when we go back to Tassel.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
So I assume they have campfires there.
Yeah, this looks like a bunch of campfires out in front of Stromheim, perhaps, or around Stromheim.
Not coming from inside, though.
Yeah, they're too spread out to be coming from a single point. You know, they must be at, a mile or so apart at the greatest point between them.
Can we see the walls of Stromheim?
Nope, you're seeing the smoke in the sky before any of this. With all this venturing off-road and onto road, your traveling isn't so efficient, so you're still not quite there yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
this is
this is
before you can see any walls or anything.
Let's just be careful.
Okay. When we get there, I'm curious to see if there's another smaller wall around outside the big wall, a couple 100 yards away.
I guess I just make I guess I sort of just say to the party, like, so we've seen a blockade. We've seen something that looks like a scarecrow that may or may not be a person. And now we see some smoke outside the walls. Probably be careful, but something's not right. Something strange going on.
Well, nothing's really right over here. If you've noticed, there's entire towns that are empty. There's kobolds, and there's one who licked your leg, for God's sake. I still don't know what happened with that. That haunts my dreams. It truly does.
All we got to do is keep going on.
I suppose we can at least see what it is.
Check it out. Ebner's
On Overwatch.
Well, it is late. Sun is going down. Do you want to push forward in the dwindling light to catch up to the walls, or are you going to leave that for tomorrow's exploration?
I don't know. Don't walled towns usually not like you coming up to the walls in the night?
I would say so. They usually don't like us in general, but I think at night it's even more so.
It seems pretty likely, yeah.
As we were, I guess as we're like, is it too late to say as we were walking and I was kind of like peering from behind to see if we were being followed by the skeletal, or not the skeleton, but like the scarecrowish guy?
Well, you can look back now and you don't see the scarecrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's fine. We camp here. Just no fire tonight.
I think I remember Mr. Eustace back home saying that when he walked in on Downgated late one night, they didn't let him in.
Well,
So
I guess we'll just camp here with no fire.
We'll wait for tomorrow.
It's a cold day. Thank God no one needs to remember relearn spells or gain HP. So without the convenience of a fire, you're all sort of chilly in the cool night. It's,
we've got blankets.
Sure, but it still gets down to low 40s or high 30s at night. It's cold. Your blankets might
with the
keep you.
tent.
What if I cuddle up with someone?
But your blankets aren't
blanket?
necessarily the best of blankets. I have like nice big comforters, and I'm still sometimes cold inside my house. You know,
Sure.
Very well.
you just
Yeah.
you don't know what it's like to be cold, Connor. You've been in that warm, hot area for so long. You've forgotten
I'm sorry.
coldness.
I'm sorry. New York winter. What was that? Walking into work at -20. Okay. I'm
Wow,
sorry.
that's terrifying.
You want to tell me again, Neal?
Did you remember what it was like walking into work at -20?
Yeah, I do. I remember I breathed in through my nose a couple of times, and I could actively feel my icicles forming. That was fun.
Oh god, that sounds terrible. Okay.
Sting. Yeah.
You're out at night. Let's make another check at night for encounters. So, what's your camp like?
I'd say we're probably all in the tent with whoever is on watch outside.
Who's on?
I
Okay.
agree.
And what's the watch order?
I'm second.
I'm gonna be first.
I think I'd take last.
Yeah, I'll take
That's
third.
what I did before. Yeah.
Joka, Ebner, Jeb, and Vaughn. Okay, perfect.
I like to say these are the worst Reese's I've ever had. The bottoms keep falling off of them. I've never had Reese's this bad in my life. It's truly a struggle.
Oh,
like,
Look at this. Literally, the entire bottom comes off and it doesn't come out of the thing.
That's
I hate
weird.
That is terrible.
That's wrong. I mean, you still have to
That is
scrape the paper with your teeth.
Yeah,
of course.
Right.
Yeah, but can't do that on stream. I'm gonna have to say that for later.
That's
You've
why you just
got-
like you're on stream.
I mean,
Not on stream.
it's
It's
desperate measures.
stream.
All right,
Yeah,
Joka,
it's
you
desperate
can
measures, all
you
right?
can
True.
do it. No one will judge you.
Yeah.
It's in character. That's what it is.
It's in
Yeah,
character.
you're taking some desperate
But these in
measures.
the fridge is what I think I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, I have to keep any and everything chocolate inside the fridge because I made the mistake of not, and I got the munchies one night. I was like, well, what's here and what's easy to eat? Well, shit, I'm out of food. Oh wait, I got these chocolate covered cherries that my cousin gave me last Christmas, and I like open it up and they're all like melty and shit, and I'm like,
Yeah, I've never really had this problem before. This is just a unique batch. They're all the same way though. It was a manufacturing defect. Or something.
Oh.
The
I
entire
think
batch.
it's like, were they like slightly melted maybe, or like half melted or something?
No, it's like they didn't put enough around like the center seam. So like there's a bottom and a top half on every one of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
The struggle of eating candy. It's real, man. So real.
desperate measures. You gotta lick the chocolate off the Reese's cup.
Well, that's what I always try. I always try to eat Reese's so that there's only peanut butter.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
What?
I always try to eat Reese's so like I eat the chocolate part first, and then I try to eat it so that there's as much peanut butter left as possible at the end. Kind of like how Oreos, some people pull it off and then whatever. That's I don't know. That's just what I do with Reese's. Yeah.
All right. I've
try to
never heard
just-
of anyone eating them that way, but I understand it. I guess.
I guess I'm weird. Yeah. Yeah. So I try to eat around the edges, the top, and then there's just the bottom, and then peanut butter, and then that's it. Anyways.
Roll me a 1d10.
Oh. Me?
Yeah, you
Sure.
got me worried.
Got me
Uh-oh.
worried. Wait, what?
Oh, it was the peanut butter. I shouldn't have mentioned how I ate peanut butter because now the whole party's screwed.
No, but what you do hear is like the bats in the air, which isn't unusual. There are bats often, right? They're kind of a common thing that you might have in life, in the world.
Okay.
This is not buttons that I thought they were. No. Oh, here we go. That's the bat sound I'm looking for. All right. So you hear bats in the sky, which is sort of to be expected and not anything that you should be concerned about. And give me a perception check on top of that.
Okay. Dang. Sorry.
Nice.
Ooh, quite good. And you, or maybe scouting the sky, kind of looking for the sounds of these creatures, when you see one that sort of like blocks the silhouette of the moon and then comes towards you. And it's actually like coming at you, like dive bombing at you.
Oh shit. Well, I guess I ready my sledgehammer and I tell the others, like, guys, there's something here. I try and say it loud. Yeah, I try and say it pretty loudly. Guys, there's something here.
I snap up.
Yeah.
What?
In the sky, one of the bats.
The first
Bigger
bat
than the others.
dives towards you with a 5 to hit, and it just kind of like swoops towards you, gets like, you know, rakes your hair with its feet, and then flies off into another direction.
Get in the tent. Get in the tent.
Yeah, that sounds like good advice.
I'm still in here. Perfect.
I get down and I rush into the tent.
Why you waking me up? You scramble into the tent in time to hear another bat kind of like whoop into the side of the tent, and you can see the pressure that its body against the tent creates, and then it scrambles up and flies away.
Is this a normal thing for bats to get angry like this, or does this suggest like there's like, was there a reason for bats to be this aggressive normally, or does this happen from time to time?
Have you, Tom, ever heard of aggressive bats attacking people?
Shit. No. Why? Yeah.
No.
I mean, maybe.
Yes,
I don't
maybe.
know.
Well, then
I don't know.
it sounds
I honestly don't
like Vaughn's in a similar situation.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What do you guys do? You're in the tent and there's bats everywhere.
Since we've been in the tent, are they still hitting, or?
Not consistently. It's not like the war of bats on the tent, but a few will run into the tent, scramble on it for a little while, and then take off.
Maybe they'll just leave.
I think if we just sit here pretty quiet, like eventually they'll go on.
I'll get
Sounds
the
like a good
spear and the
idea.
shield out, ready to poke at anything that tries to come through the.
Yeah, I'll kind of use
Tent
my
flap.
spear, and I'll kind of like reinforce like the top of the tent. So if he like comes and hits on it, he hits the spear, or he hits the shield. Sorry.
Perfect, yeah. Takes maybe half an hour, but eventually the bats will move on to whatever else they were doing. And you guys are left in
okay.
peace. Yeah, see, not every encounter needs to be fought with weapons. Some of them can just literally be ignored. Just
it
close the
you guys
door and wait for them to go away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's fine. All right.
If this was of Dice and Men did, we'd be out there fighting bats all night.
I know. For no reason in particular,
Yeah,
but you'd be doing it.
There's 20 bats. All right, we gotta fight them.
All right. The next day, you move on forward, edging closer to Stromheim until the city walls come into view. And they come into view from quite a ways away because they're tall-ass walls. And you can see the morning campfires. There's really, actually, now that you're getting closer, only like 20 of them or so. And they're clearly scattered all the way around Stromheim. And you get close enough to see there is an army encamped around Stromheim, encircling it. There are banners of that same sigil you saw back on the road around it. There are patrols of riders going back and forth about. And there are just a whole bunch of spearmen standing up, holding spears, watching the walls. And it's sort of this stalemate, you know?
We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here.
I think I don't even say anything. I just turn around and start walking away. No words need to be said
Yeah,
here.
we will immediately start to leave.
Yeah.
We need to get back and tell everyone at Tassel.
I don't think they'll care, but let's go anyway.
I don't think they'll care, but if there's an army over here, who says where that army might go next? Especially if they capture one of our fellow friends or us.
True.
We need to get out of here.
Southwood, my friends.
Yeah, we'll just start to leave.
All right. You head south.
Yeah, probably. I recommend that where the forest starts to get thicker, we make our way back over to the road, head back to Jacuzzi. Or maybe,
Great idea.
even better, we go back towards Jacuzzi and we take a stroll around Miran Lake, see if there's anything else over there. Might as well try and do some hunting, get us some pelts before we come back.
Yeah.
That's true. We can get some more pelts.
I was able to sell that fox pelt for a good handful of copper.
I agree. That would make this at least not a total waste of a journey for sure.
Yeah.
Would I know, maybe in a cleric economy of knowing where places are, would I know of any temples of Tempos anywhere in like the area? Would I know if like Misty Rapids is a place or?
You don't. The only temple of any significance you are aware of in Eridon is the Great Temple in Heatstroke. Heatstroke is this town over here. Yeah. I've drawn an arrow to it. There's a big ass temple there to all the gods, and it is one of the holiest places in all of Arcadia. They say it's the area where you are physically closest to the gods. Like their realm and your realms are almost touching at that point, is what they say. But that's 130 miles and across a desert.
Yeah, I know of a place in Heatstroke where we could sell our goods, but that's on the other side of Stromheim, and honestly, I don't think we're in.
Did demons come out from that way though?
Would we know that?
You guys can say anything you want. The reality is the players don't really know what's happening, so anything that the players know is fine for the PCs to know because it's all sort of hearsay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as Barbo or whatever, I saw like in Heatstroke that there is like demons. Maybe not like I didn't.
You saw lights and you heard rumors of demons.
We went up to Heatstroke and there was that eye thing, and then we also had.
Yeah, but you never got to Heatstroke. That was only nearby. No one has been to Heatstroke in game. No one knows what's happening in the city.
I definitely saw some weird shit though, so I would assume. But yeah.
For this purpose, I think it's okay that we've heard stories. Maybe we've heard things. Maybe we don't know for sure, but yeah. We would maybe say.
Maybe you've just heard whispers that something weird's going on over there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we could take a shorter detour down here to Misty Rapids and see what's happening there.
Well, yeah. Do I know if Misty Rapids is like a thing?
We know jacuzzi isn't a thing anymore.
All right, well, we probably have a map of this area, so maybe.
I think what we should do before we go anywhere like that is get what we have secured, payment-wise.
Yeah,
get Mr. Garrett the amulet, and then go on towards Misty Rapids and Thornwood.
Well, if we are going back to the city, maybe we could go south and see what that Minotaur has. I don't know how we're feeling about that, but we do know there should be some treasure in there. It's a for sure lead on something.
Well,
I could kill a Minotaur.
Yeah,
as you're chatting,
say,
I'd like perception checks from you. Continue what you're saying though, but just do perception checks while you chat.
Sure.
What were you saying, Tom?
I would say, let's get that jewel that Jeb has there appraised, and once we do that, if we want to go down to what was it, the marsh north of Pittsburgh, Bogwood? Is that where
I think that's where the lady said the Minotaur was.
Yeah, if you could handle that lady for me, because I don't want to have to talk to her, but I
believe Ebner will be doing all the talking to her. I believe one with
Ebner,
might be able to see through whatever got going.
Ebner, let me tell you something. I'm glad that you're with us right now because I really don't want to have to talk to that woman again.
Well, hopefully we don't have to.
It's at this point that one of you, anyone, really glances over your shoulder and you see clouds of dust being kicked up by what looks to be 3 riders on horseback. Behind you, barreling up, well, not up, I guess across the plains in your direction. You're getting on close towards these woods. These riders are at like maximum visible range, which I think for our purposes here is about 2 miles out. And you're really seeing the dust more than you're seeing the horses.
How far are we away from the forest?
Half a mile or so. You're close to it.
Quickly, into the woods.
Into the woods, find a hidey hole.
Running.
Yeah, I agree. I run with him.
I'm just running for the woods.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys book it for the woods. What were you going to say?
I'm sorry, because I was just going to say, like, we're off the road right now, right? So the fact that 3 riders are off the road right now coming towards us seems very strange. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you did just leave Stromheim maybe an hour ago or less than that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you book it for the woods. You can make it to the edge of the woods. Let's see, they're on horseback. You've got, your movement speed is limited by the dwarf. You've got movement speed 6. So hold on, we need to do some math here. Because they're moving twice as fast as you, but they are 4 times the distance from the woods as you are. Dwarf, what is your constitution score?
My constitution score is 16.
Good.
So you're gonna have to jog at the very minimum if anyone wants a chance to get anywhere. You might have to break into a run, and I'm gonna take a look and see what sort of con checks we're gonna need from you to see if you can push yourself fast enough to get into the woods before the riders close on you. Let's see, jogging. Well, jogging character you can jog for a number of rounds equal to your con. So you can go at 12 movement for a number of rounds equal to your constitution. You've got 16 con, so that's 16 minutes.
Oh, that's plenty of time to make it half a mile.
That's plenty of time to make a half mile. But the thing is, those guys on horseback are going way faster than movement speed 12. So I'm gonna need you to make me a single strength check. Dwarf. Oh my god, you passed with flying colors! You can put on the speed. You can break into more than a jog. You can break into a full-fledged sprint.
Is the fastest dwarf alive.
And keep it
Time
up long
is on
enough
our side.
for you guys to break into the woods. You get there maybe 2 or 3 minutes ahead of the riders. How deep into the woods do you want to go?
I would say.
You want to stay right on the edge?
No.
Right on the very edge?
We need to go deeper where it's harder for them to ride as quickly.
Yeah. Definitely like the thickest. This is so dumb. The thickest, deepest part of the woods.
I don't know about that.
party.
Maybe like medium? Can we take like the medium option? Not the edge, but not like the deepest, darkest depths. Like where it'd be hard for a horse to
maybe
run.
medium option. I think that's a smart.
Maybe we start off at the medium.
All right. You push deeper into the woods. And as you push in, you notice there's a low mist covering the ground. The woods here are thick and the sunlight barely penetrates the canopy. In most places, it doesn't really at all, just maybe the occasional shaft of sunlight here or there. The woods are quiet. Really quiet. And still.
I think we should get back to the road.
How long has it been since we saw the riders?
Yeah.
2 minutes. You know, you've just busted deep into the woods, pushed, jogged, ran as far as you could, throwing looks over your shoulders, and now that you're 2 minutes in and the woods are starting to get kind of thick, you're thinking about turning back.
Ebner pants heavily. I need at least 20 minutes to regain.
I understand, but we need to move. Still, just we're not that far into the woods.
I can move. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a smart man, but maybe one who would be smart would say we could cut a vector south instead of going directly back. And we could go that way.
I can take a southwest.
I agree. That sounds like a good idea. Can Ebner, can you can move, but are you going to be okay on your own there?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
All right.
Don't touch me.
Wouldn't think of it.
You did think?
You're moving through the woods when you come across what appears to be maybe the ruins of a small shrine. There's a large rock that someone has taken the time to carve like an altar into, imagine like a sheer flat rock surface, and then you carve a flat ledge into it, and then sort of like a semicircle above it. So you've got like a ledge with some vertical space into this rock. So it's kind of like a small altar. There are no symbols or sigils of gods placed here, but on either side of this little small rock are 2 carved figurines made out of stone, similar sort of stone to the rock that the altar is made of. One of them looks like a dwarf who is shielding his eyes and trying to see something far away. And the other is a dwarf whose eyes are wide and his hands are up in like a defensive position of terror.
How big are they? Like dwarf
About
size?
dwarf sized.
Would I know anything about this being a dwarf?
They just kind of look like dwarves.
I
The
don't
quality of the
looks this.
craftsmanship isn't terribly great.
We need to get out of here. I
Either
don't
way,
think
those dwarfs aren't happy. Yeah, I agree. Let's leave.
Those
Dwarven
don't look carved.
If it was dwarven made, it'd be good craftsmanship. This is shabby work.
Well, let's leave the shabby work here, right where it belongs, in
And
the
we'll
woods.
start heading, I guess, west of it.
You start heading west. So you start heading out of the woods.
Is that fine with everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
you-
that's a good
You
try.
get to the edge
I
of the
take
woods.
our chances with the horsemen over whatever is at that shrine.
Stone shrine, petrified dwarf, maybe.
You
Yeah,
get to the edge of the woods, and you can see the riders are out there. They've spread out. There's, they're maybe 300 yards apart each. So one's, two of them are 300 yards apart, and then the others are 600.
Any of them
And they're
dwarves?
slowly walking. They're still a good distance from you. You're gonna have they're too tall to be dwarves, but you can't make out any distinct features of the people on the horses. And they are sort of walking at a distance of 1,000 yards from
Can
the
we see
woods.
Glint of armor on them, perhaps. Like, is it clear they're wearing metal armor?
No, you're not seeing any glints of metallic armor on them. If they are wearing armor, it's probably leather.
Interesting.
Did they see us?
You're deeper within the woods, so you're kind of shaded in the darkness. You can see them well before they can see you. So, yeah.
well, maybe we stay in the edge of this woods and go south and just follow the edge around, staying out of their sight. Hopefully, they'll return home at some point.
As long as we use the edge of the forest for cover and we don't go back too far deep in, I would say that's a good idea.
All right, let's keep going.
You skirt the edge of the wood. The riders are kind of moving alongside the edge of the wood with you. They don't really see you, or at least it doesn't look like they see you, but it looks like they are sort of coming along here. Maybe waiting for their prey to step out of the woods from somewhere or catch a sight of them somewhere. By the time the day comes to an end, you're here-ish, and you still see them very slowly walking along the edge. At this point, they're actually a little bit ahead of you. They're probably about here. Well, maybe about here is where they would be.
But we're still inside of them.
You're still in sight of them
Or-
and inside the woods. Yes.
Well, they may not necessarily be able to see us, but
Correct.
Yeah. Let's camp here for the night. See if they give up search.
I suppose it's another cold night for us.
We'll take turns
what if-
on watch.
Yep, take turns on watch.
Yeah.
But I've got an idea. What if we wait for them to move, and once they're out of sight, we just
Okay.
skirt across in the plains and make our way towards the Miran Lake?
We could. I mean, that we could give them a slip tonight. That'd be something to be done.
True. But I think we should rest.
Okay.
I would like to pick some new spells.
Well, unless we light a fire for you to do that, I don't know if it's going to happen. And with
Depends on the
fire-
weather tonight.
Well, I think it's a cold winter night, and I think,
Oh no, I think it's
almighty.
gonna be real warm tonight.
well, it's going to be real warm tonight. You roll that dice.
I'll let you know how I'm feeling.
All right, let me know how you're feeling.
All right.
Being a dwarf,
Uh-huh.
I'm used to being in caves, and caves aren't warm.
Yeah.
And I have the natural ability to actually prepare my spells in a little bit chillier temperature. And if you want to go for that, I have 3 warm bodies who can press up against me and warm me up to get me satisfactory rest for me to be able to do my spells.
Are you saying that because you're a dwarf, you don't need good rest to memorize your spells?
No, saying because I'm a dwarf, I'm used to the cold. Like, people from California, if they go to Ohio and it's like 60 out, they're bitching. But because I'm like
True
from
facts.
Alaska and it's like 30 out, I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. This ain't bad.
Except you're not from Alaska, and you don't live underground. You're the cleric, and you just reside like everybody else. So you've got the same
We can
temperature
give him the-
tolerances.
All right.
Neal.
What if they, huddle against me for warmth, like penguins do?
They can
Yeah,
have
we
one
can-
on either side of him because one person's
on
on
every
watch
side.
and then he gets penguin.
So
Yeah.
I want you to sell this to the other party. I want you to say to them, I need to memorize my
Yeah.
spells, so cuddle me, baby. Cuddle me like I'm a girl named Tanya or
I
something.
know this is, boss. I know this might be a little bit weird of a quest, and I swear I'm not into this or anything. But you know how a man can't really get it up if it's too chilly? Well, I can't really memorize my spells if it's too chilly, if you know what I'm saying. So I do need you to cuddle against me for the night so I can change my spells up and maybe get us in the best situation we can.
Mr. Ebner, you do realize you could have asked for that without using all the imagery that you did, right?
I just want you to know that I ain't into it.
I didn't know
Okay.
we needed convincing that you weren't into it.
The
That
more we
doesn't
talk
make me
about
feel
this, the more
any
it
more
gives me
or less
concern.
comfortable. It just makes the
I
whole
want me
thing
to remember
awkward.
my spells or not, Sonny.
Ebner,
Just cradle me.
well, when you put it that way, Mr. Ebner, you ask so nicely.
I'm so glad
no,
I'm on first watch. Y'all just enjoy the rest of this conversation. I'm going outside.
listen,
Mr.
joke.
Ebner,
Wait.
Mr. Ebner, you can have my spare blanket if you need it.
He rushes out.
Would 3 blankets be enough?
Actually, now that you mentioned it, I
He is
do
door
happen
size.
to.
Can we empty out our bags and shove him in the bags and give him multiple layers for his feet and then use the blankets around his top? We can eventually make him into a little cocoon.
And I do have a winter blanket. I have a winter blanket, not just a regular blanket, but a winter one.
So,
Okay, so-
the goal here is try and get the dwarf enough warmth that he can recover spells, and you give him all of your blankets. And what are the rest of you gonna do for their warmth this chilly night?
I'm
Oh, I
telling
give
you,
him my
it really
spare
is if we
blanket.
cuddled together.
We've got a spare blanket. Okay, that's nice.
I think we rock with the cradling strategy unless you
Okay.
let it go.
The
I'm
dwarf
happily-
gets the blankets, and you guys cradle each other.
I
Yeah,
guess
Dwarf
so.
gets the blankets. We've each got a cloak, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's
That'll
sufficient
help a little
layers
bit.
between me and the dwarf. I feel sufficiently protected.
All in the name of
Good to go.
progress,
I
gentlemen.
swear I won't ask you this very often,
We will not discuss this any
You
further.
won't tell no one.
Mr. Ebner, why do you have to
Absolutely
say
not.
it like that?
I just wanted to be truthful to you.
I feel like
Listen,
I'm
gentlemen,
put out a sleepover all over again. It's too
There's
much of
nothing.
that.
All right. The night passes without any problems, other than the awkward and uncomfortable conversation.
When we wake up, are the horsemen still there?
No, they're gone. They're gone.
All right. Let's slip across, heading the plains and off towards the Mirand Lake.
Nice.
Sounds good. Let's head on over.
Day like?
It's another overcast day.
Fuck. Okay.
Man.
I'll tell you my spells in a minute or two,
Oh.
if that's fine.
I'll need them before I say too much else of what goes on.
Okay. I'll grab 2 Cure Light Wounds and a Darkness. Oh, wrong.
Okay.
The real action you should have done is just don't change anything after all that. Don't change anything.
Sunscore just gotta go.
Sorry, guys. I just remembered. You know what? I don't need to change anything.
Okay. You spend the day crossing over to Mirand Lake. You get there, no problem. You find the lake shore gently lapping up against... I'm sorry, you find the small waves of the lake gently lapping up against the shores. What do you want to do?
I mean, we can walk around till we see something interesting. I don't think those kobolds live near the Lake Kroda.
Where was that headless horseman in?
Wait, he was, I think, on the road up there.
Yes.
But seeing as there's an army up there. Maybe he just saw a body running across and he thought it was a headless horseman. Who knows?
Maybe
I don't know. Remember, he
just
seemed
a maybe. Maybe it was those people coming after us.
maybe.
Well, let's not stay here to find out.
I agree.
Yeah.
So did we want to hunt something around this lake and then head south?
Let's go back to Tassel and tell Fizzib, see if he knows anything about Stromheim. Doesn't sound like earlier, though.
Sound like we weren't too welcome. It doesn't sound like too much is going to change in his book.
Yeah, last time we talked to that messenger that came back, I gave him so many different chances to correct his story, and he was convinced that it was a headless horseman. I'm hoping that he would not have mistaken 3 full-bodied human horsemen for one headless horseman.
Well, I don't think we know if they're human. I couldn't reason.
I think it's just speculation.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that man did not lie and actually did see a headless horseman.
Well, I guess we should head back.
Yeah, let's head back, but let me do some hunting around the lake, see what I can find.
Yeah. Fuck this side of the earth. We need to move west, where shit makes sense.
Well, I was hoping maybe.
Wait, you mean towards Cuba?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, not towards Akuba. No one goes there. That's a shithole.
But that's what's off to the west, isn't it?
Renthra,
You mean to the south?
southwest. Yeah, I'm not very good with my.
Well, last I checked, they was trying to kill all us anyway, so.
Yeah, you just learn a new language. It's easy. I know full.
To be fair, just about everything's trying to kill us. Something not trying to kill us is more spectacular.
You don't need to be good at geography to be a cleric at Tempos. It's okay.
That's true.
All right, so where are you going after all this?
We're gonna hunt around Mirren Lake, then head back to Tassel.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to speed things along a little bit, give me a hunt check and you'll just be finding stuff. I don't think we want to do the full hunt every time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, 29. That's a good way to do it. Maybe we should do like a 21 through 24 is you find something but you'll have to deal with it. 25 plus is you find food for 2 people, and like 30 plus is you find food for 4 people. That seems like a really easy way of
Yeah. I was
just
also
streamlining.
looking for what sort of animals they are, so, get some pelts.
Yeah. Let's see. What did you find? This is what you found. You found a pair of hyenas. You managed to bring one of them down.
Do we have hyenas in Mystria?
Probably not. No. These are weird creatures to you then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely skin the shit out of this.
Yeah. Who's ever seen one of these suckers around?
Yeah.
Quite a rare creature you got there, Jeb. You should probably skin as much as you can off that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to take proper care to make sure this pelt is as unharmed as possible.
And we'll get to here. That'll end our day. And then it's going to be 2 days to Tassel. Or a day and a few hours. With no encounters. So you will arrive in Tassel. Looks about it. This would be woods. Lake. Back to Tassel. On the 16th of February, 1512. And we're going to take our last break right now. And when we come back from the other side, we will sort out the end. See you guys soon.